So to start with, I would like to call our industry expert, Mr. Harish, who's here with us, and I would like him to explain about the construction cloud and industry challenges. So before that, I would like to introduce Harish sir. He is a resultant driven leader. He is in education a BE civil engineer, a PDCM, a PMI, PMP, and DASSM. He has 3 decades of diverse professional experience around real estate. And Sir is presently working as a AVP projects with IREO Private Limited. Earlier, he has worked with organizations like Unitech Limited, Ansals, and Punjab Chemi Plants Limited, and many more. He has been constantly delivering high quality projects ranging from luxury high rise group housings and land township projects, special economic zone projects, small projects, and many more in the NCR and Pan India region. A PMI PMP certified person he is, and is disciplined, agile, authorized training partner instructor currently. He is one of the senior and experienced instructors. His key strength lies in managing the integration process of project development from the stage of inception, design, coordination, execution, capacity building, monitoring, inspection, and see them both through completion and occupancy. Very good afternoon, sir. We would like to welcome you to the workshop. Harish, sir.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yes, yes.
Good afternoon, sir. So I would like to hand over the stage to you.
So imagine for a moment on the time machine, you are taken 30 years ago. On a typical Monday morning, after having a wonderful weekend, you reach your office. A bundle of blue colored ammonia prints of the drawings are awaiting you to open them. You're not in the mood at this hour of time. You half-heartedly review, put your review remarks on the drawings, sign the circulation slip, and pass it on to the next reviewer. The next reviewer takes his or her sweet time, signs the circulation slips, and pass it on further. Good afternoon, friends. My name is Harish Kumar, and I am with you today to discuss challenges in construction industry, use of digitalization in the construction processes, benefits of BIM implementation, and slightly on Autodesk Build and few other things. Next slide. In all so far, I have overseen 7.25 million square feet of IT, SEZ, IT offices, commercial mall projects, and almost equivalent 6.5 million square feet of residential projects, and around 700 acres of plotted development, and the total project cost amounting to around 5,000 crores. Currently, I am looking after 2,100 crores of project. The first project you see on the screen is a Bear Shell project, residential group housing project. And in the next slide, you see is the Victory Valley project, which is, as on date, it is the highest habited building, occupied building. This is around 180 meters in height, 51 storied. And on the next screen, you see another project, which is IREO Scion. It's a smart housing project. And few other projects are I did with Unitech Limited, which are in the next slides. By the name of, this is the, what you see is the Infosys Gurgaon office for Unitech Limited. I also did in the next slide, it is Google building. What you see on the left is the actual building. What you see on the right is the 3D perspective of the same. And further moving on, a few mall projects, Garden Galleria, Noida, in sector 18. And on the right is the Garden Galleria, Lucknow. And rest of the projects are through Ansal. In the next slide, These are urban farmhouses, floors in Ansals Buildable Limited. And finally, in the beginning of my career, I did, on the next slide, it is Malibu Town. It is the first township on the Sohana Road. It's a beautiful place. If you see, I wish I could show you the same on the Google Earth. Actually, I love to showcase my projects. This project, you see, if you see on the Google Earth, it's so beautifully planned. On every street and there is a roundabout which is called the cul-de-sacs, and these cul-de-sacs are used basically for the parking of the for the occupants, and do the parties and functions. So moving on further, firstly I'll discuss what are the challenges in the construction industry. The biggest challenge in the construction industry is that still majority of it is unorganized sector. What you see on the table on the screen is, if 100% of the construction people are there, 48.92% of them are working in the unorganized sector. So this is one of the highest among other sectors, mining, manufacturing, as you see on the slide. Next. We still feel good when we deploy small time petty contractors. We try to achieve economies of scale. How we do it? We provide them the free issue material and recover that material cost through them. Then, as project managers, we still have the mental block. We keep sticking to the traditional way of working. See, if you can use the common data environment, CDE, to maintain thousands of drawings used in a particular project, why do we require to have the drawing register? That is maintained separately by each stakeholder, whether it is design team, whether it is execution team, whether it is contractor, right? And further, be it design development team, be it procurement, contract management, or project monitoring in the form of cost monitoring, cash flows, schedule monitoring, DPR, daily progress reports, daily manpower report, the pour cards for concreting, then formats and checklists before, during, and after the construction, and the records of minutes of meeting. We are still resorting to simple Excel sheets or hard prints for documentation. Next. Believe you me, we still have the system of advanced drawings, followed with infinite number of GFCs, maybe up to GFC 1 to GFC 20. What happens is that advanced copy of the drawing is sent to the site. The most experienced man sitting in the site will give his consent. Everyone will follow what he says. Now comes how to make the coordinated services drawing and how to read it, how to maintain it. It is still considered the job of an expert draftsman who will pick up input drawings from different stakeholders, different domains, architect, structure, to MEP, HVAC, electrical and plumbing, and firefighting. Set the layers one after or on the other, superimpose different drawing elements, and often text used by the different stakeholders are still left overlapping despite best efforts by that super skilled draftsman. And on top of that, what happens? Either these coordinated drawing is not sent to site, or if sent, that heavyweight site champ will refuse to follow it. He'll cite, इन लोगों को तो practical knowledge ही नहीं है. He'll say it is incorrectly made, or he'll say that it is difficult to read. It is so jumbled up. What he'll do is he'll use his own wisdom to create the coordination in small chunks as the work progresses. And finally, just to blame the design development team finally when he's stuck. Either what will happen is duct is not maintained at the mandatory 8-foot clear height from the basement floor, or what will be done is maybe a basement drain channel is overlooked, skipped, and instead on the floor a slope is made in a haphazard manner, and directed, channelized towards the nearest drain channel or the sump. Finally, what happens is basement is flooded whenever there is sprinklers are um, uh, blown, or water comes through some other source. And further, to make the life of the project manager worse, there is a term called QMS, that is quality management system. So to make the life of the project manager worse, at times he needs to maintain all the superseded drawings, these from GFC 1 to GFC 19, till a specified period, even beyond the completion time, all as stated in the that company specific QMS, quality management system, or ISO procedures. On a lighter note, it's a different thing that the project team utilizes some of these drawings as GFL, that is good for lunch drawings. Now next, let's talk about the as-built drawings. My experience of working in top Indian real estate companies has been, rarely do we make the as-built drawings in the word and deed in as truly as the as-built drawing should be made. What we do, we simply replicate the final version of the GFC, the soft copy. We change the title of the drawing to look like the as-built drawing, and voila, the contractor is eligible to get the completion certificate, and he is eligible to get the every final payment released. What follows next is the whole lot of findings in the form of discrepancies that are highlighted by the facility management team, the O&M team, often assigning faults on stakeholders that include people from the concept stage or the design stage to the construction stage to the handing over team. What happens next? A very seasonal organizational head steps in. He'll pacify all these people. He'll say, it's good that no one is owning the labs. Let's make a lesson learned register, or learnings from this completed project, so that we'll take care, we'll not repeat the same labs again. This is a complete eyewash. This lesson learned register is simply kept in the repository. Nobody looks at it again. So these are some of the challenges. So how BIM helps? Next slide. The building information modeling is a step ahead of representation of the geometry, aesthetics, and functionality of any facility. Maybe a building project, a township project, any infrastructure project, from the traditional way of two-dimensional to the three primary special dimensions X, Y, and Z, that is 3D. And if we add time and schedule to it, it becomes 4D. And if you add cost to it, it becomes 5D, and further to the operational and management and sustainability. However, in BIM, the aim would be to extract the 2D drawings from 3D, not the vice versa, not to create a mere 3D model from the 2D drawings. Now, BIM helps us not only in better planning and schedule optimization, but it also gives us a better preparedness in terms of next steps during any life cycle of the project, starting from design to construction to the O&M stage. So what you see on the next slide are the different stages of the level of development. Yeah. So what you see is the LOD 100 to LOD 500. On the left is different domains: architecture, interior, structure, HVAC, plumbing and firefighting, electrical, etc. Few things are done in LOD 100, then LOD 200, then LOD 250. Clash check is done up to this stage, and then 300, 350, 400. Another clash detection is done, and then finally 500 as-built model is prepared. Next slide. Now, in a view to ensure the smooth functioning of the BIM process, every stakeholder is expected to deliver in line with these below mentioned delivery matrix. In the first LOD stage 100, that is called the conceptual model, we have design and engineering consultants. What they'll do, they'll exchange the concept level design information. The next is the early DD stage, early design detailing stage, wherein it is LOD 200. These design and engineering consultant will exchange the early design detailing. Further, there is a LOD 300, which is pre-coordination model. Again, these design and engineering consultants, they'll exchange the detailed models and they'll do the inter-services coordination. Further, LOD 300 includes the class-free coordinated models. Next is the stage for the documented model, which is LOD 300 again. This is for providing the tendering and estimation. So you see what I showed you in the beginning. The first slide was a circulation slip, wherein the project architect passed on his reviews, comments, that bundle of drawings to the next person who is the structure guy, then to the next person who's the electrical guy, then to the next person. Everybody takes his own sweet time, but these guys, what we see in the next is the pre-construction stage, which is when the contractor is into the picture. So what he does the constructability check. He also sees the same model and he does the coordination check also at his end as well. This is in LOD 350. On step 7, it is shop drawing stage now. Once this constructability check is done and updation is done in the drawings and documentation, then we move on to the stage of making the shop drawings basis the actual construction, actual structure, whatever is available, basis that how our particular element will fit in. Let's say it's a facade drawing, as per the beams, as per the columns, how the facade elements, how the panels will fit in. He'll make the coordinated shop drawing on that basis, and finally the construction will happen and the as-built model will be prepared, and this will be LOD 500. So who does it? All the design and engineering consultants, contractors, and trades people do it, and this is used for the future references for the operation and management team. So all the stakeholders are involved on the same model, with no lapse in time or any miss on any part. So moving on further. Now let's talk about the digitalization in construction industry. For a builder or seller, if you are a builder or a reseller, now you can let your prospects explore your inventory digitally and shortlist the ideal flat for them using a plethora of filters, right? So second floor or 22nd floor, east facing or west facing, 2 BHK or 3 BHK, finished or raw, let them handpick their dream home. So Pallavi ma'am, can I click the
Sir, you
link?
can share your screen. I'll stop sharing.
All right, okay.
Yes. I have stopped the sharing. You can share your screen.
Sure. Yeah. So I'll click on this link. Is my screen visible?
No, sir, you will have to reshare it.
Just a moment. Is it visible now?
No, sir.
So your screen is visible, but we can only see the PPT right now, not what you're sharing apart from that.
Yeah, I have just opened the PPT so far.
Yeah, PPT is visible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So I'm so sorry, I clicked the wrong link. Just a moment. Yeah. So I just wanted to show you this 3D interactive tool for real estate. I hope it is visible.
No, sir. We are seeing a blank screen. So I request, sir, you just exit out of the PPT mode and then share your screen, complete screen.
All right. Okay.
Otherwise, it will not be visible.
Is that okay now?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Okay. So this is a 3D interactive model. What you see is a site plan wherein we have different towers. I'm hovering over the first one of the tower. It is called A block. Below that, it is showing the information of the A block, which is which shows the tower configuration: 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 3.5 BHK, ranging from some square feet to 1300 square feet to 2350 square feet. And there are total 96 flats. Some of them are booked, some are mortgaged, some are available in that. If I hover on the next block, it is B block. It is also showing the similar information. And in the rest of the blocks, C block, and this block is E block. It is not open for sale. It is probably the work is under construction. So is in the D block, and there is a club at the end. So what I'll do is I'll just check click one of them. And if you want, if I want to see, let's say I want to see on the 9th floor. So this is a typical plate on the 9th floor. If I see everything is red in it, so I'll move back to the master layout. I'll check another floor. Let's say it's the 8th floor. So here I see one of the block is having the green. So there is an availability. So this is the layout. This is a unit plan. I can have the virtual tour of the same. I can see the isometric view of the same. So I move back. I take the virtual tour. I can see. And now I can further compare with some other similar available unit as well. I add to compare. I click add to compare, and then I move out of the screen. And again, I go to the master layout. I click some other tower. And again, I see, let's say I want to see on the 7th floor. I see something is available here. Again, I press this button, add to compare. Now there are two things to compare. It is the same thing as we do on Amazon or Flipkart. We actually compare items. We add to the list and then compare. So we see this is first flat. This is flat number A801 and another flat. And on the bottom we see the different specifications. Both are west facing. Plinth area is 1364. Plinth area is 12646, and there are other parameters as well. So in this way we'll boost our customer engagement manifold. Once shortlisted, you can put the flats to comparison side by side and make the booking decisions faster. So next I'll move on to back to the PPT. Now let's see difference between the traditional cost management and Autodesk Construction Cloud. So I'll show you the conventional way of capturing the change orders and variation items. This is a typical Excel sheet wherein the entries are put in one by one. See on the first column, we'll see the nature of work, name of contractor, what was the award value, then the variation statement, the statement date when it was received from the site, what was the value, when it was signed, then estimation team checked it, then it was checked by the billing team, then the project coordinator or the project controller checked it, and it was signed from the billing, and finally it was signed from the COO. So let's say on a typical date, it started from, let's say 21st April, let's say it started on 23rd November 2017. Finally it took 17 December. So almost a month's time it took from one table to another table. So this is a traditional way of working, which mostly people carry out. So if I take you to another statement, which is cash flow statement, what we do in this is we put the item description, contractor's name, then original contract value, then updated contract value inclusive of these variation items, change orders, etc. And then up to a particular date, how much billing is done against that particular work. Let's say if I say this Aztec waterproofing work, so original work was 41 lakhs. It after variation, it was again the same, and till a particular date the billing was done for 26 lakhs. Balance amount is 41 minus 26, 14 lakhs. And projected balance, it may or may not be the same as the balance value. Maybe whatever was awarded at that point of time, it was with some rate. Later on the rates increased, or later on the rates decreased. So maybe the projected balance cost may differ from the actual balance, and then the spread of the same spread across the actual tenure, maybe April 19 to December 19, this balance amount is spread like this. So this is how we do it traditionally. Now let's go to the Autodesk platform. So let me open the Autodesk platform. Just a moment. So this is a typical project wherein all these input items are taken from a basic Revit model. The budget is prepared. We have the main contract in this. So it has again the same format which is traditionally made. But what is the difference? The difference is that different stakeholders are sent that Excel sheet, and they take their own time to fill in that information. Let's say design team, they fill the information regarding the cost of their consultants. The site team, they'll fill the information regarding the cost taken by the contractors, or the procurement team, they'll fill in the inputs about the suppliers, and the contract team will input the cost which is awarded. So what happens in this common data environment is everybody is inputting at his parallelly at his sitting at his on table. So nothing has to be sent across to the individual stakeholder. They start filling in. So if we see this budget item, so on the left it is the budget code, budget name. Again, these are the different items starting from excavation, filling, brick masonry, and whether it is a supplier contract, what type of supplier contract it is. Original budget value was this. Then there was some management reserve that was passed on to the original budget in the form of internal budget transfer. Then some changes were suggested by the owner in the form of different specifications. So let's say if we see here, some grade was changed, or some this panel door was type of panel door was changed. So ultimately the original budget was 57,47,319, and 23,15,000 was the approved owner changes, and ultimately the revised budget becomes 80 lakhs, right? And then again in the same format as I showed you earlier, some amount is committed out of this, and now the projected cost becomes this. This is the actual cost which is incurred so far, and it has a step ahead of that information, that Excel sheet. We can provide the forecast variance also, and we can provide the earned value, other parameters like earned value, cost variance, and performance indices as well. So this was in the budget. So we can also capture the cost payment application as well, whatever the cost payment is due, and what is the paid amount, and what is the balance, right? And this is a change order information. So whenever there is a change order, so all these things are interlinked. So I'll request Pallavi ma'am to take over further and to explain you in detail. Thank you.